Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. This is a Tier 10 German tech tree light tank, and it's a vehicle that I think people don't necessarily know how to play all too well. So I figured, why not make a video showcasing why this is an entirely different playstyle to almost any other light tank in the game, and how to do well in it. Now, the reason the Panzerwagen is a different playstyle compared to basically any other light tank is because it's less of a damage farmer, and it's more of a actual light tank. With the mechanics it features being tracer shells and adaptive concealment, it means that you are much better suited to detecting people and driving back into cover rather than constantly damage farming. Now, it does have damage output. It has 3000 DPM base, and it also has tungsten and adrenaline. So it's not like you're going to struggle to get out damage in this tank, but if you compare the level of DPM this vehicle features to even a Bosch Chatillon with its 4-shell autoloader, this tank definitely has worse damage output, which is something to keep in mind. So we have the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen right here, and I'm just gonna push out and load an HE. There you go. 492. That's gotta hurt you a lot. Wow, that player's already cooked. That's kind of wild when you think about it. There you go. Nice shell once into the object 140, and the 140 is going to run away, of course. We're gonna load in a high explosive. There you go. 379. To be fair, we have done a pretty solid chunk of damage, and because of the tracer shell mechanic this vehicle features, that 140 is lit up for 20 seconds at a time, over and over and over, or not 140, the 907, and there you go. So just like that, we've taken out 2 of the enemy tanks. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this vehicle's mechanics. The C-50 is now spotted for, 20 seconds. Anytime I shoot one of these players, they're spotted for 20 seconds. And because of the way this vehicle's mechanic works, I can see when I'm spotted. So for example, this IS-4, I can very clearly see has not spotted me until I press that fire button. So we're already up to 2400 damage in this game. We're doing pretty good. And there you go, we're unspotted once again. The IS-4 still lit up. Oh, we got the minnow here. Let's aim it on the minnow's lower plate. There you go. But the minnow, we can actually see, didn't even detect us. So, oh, no, but the VZ-55 did, rather interestingly enough. Alright, the IS-4 jumps down. We're no longer spotted, so we can poke this position again. But yeah, see what I'm talking about? Like, this minnow doesn't even realize that they're spotted because of the way the mechanics of this vehicle works. So he probably thinks that he's not detected, but obviously he is. So anytime he makes a play, he's spotted the entire time. We have the VZ over here. Let's aim it on the track wheel. There you go. That gives us some assistance. I want to get some damage. Can you give me it? Bro, give me some room. Give me some room. Yeah, I want to attack. You just got to give me a little bit of room, moit. Alright, so the Bosch Chatillon's obviously going to push in here, and that player's going to get some farm out. We're going to push in ourselves and run past the minnow, because I don't want to be shot by any of those players. We have the E50 right here. Let's get one nice shell into the E50. Obviously a tungsten round as well. E50 is going to drive away. We have the 60 TP on the flank. We've got the VZ over here. There you go, 387 into the VZ once. What's the VZ going to do? Oh, VZ's going to push up. There you go, 330. Pretty good stuff. We're up to 4,400 damage at this point. Now we can move over here, aiming on the rear of the E50. E50 misses me in the process, which is obviously pretty good. We've got the 60 TP on the flank. Let's get a nice shell into the 60 ones. The 121's going to push him. Let's reload again. 3, 2, 1. Ammo rack? Nah. This tank doesn't really have enough alpha to ammo rack. Or, it's not really alpha damage, but it doesn't have enough of a high caliber to ammo rack. But there you go. That was a pretty good game, right? We ended up dealing 5,600 damage. We took apart the enemy from a distance, and we were able to get some really, really nasty bleeds out. And this is a really good game to really showcase where the Panzerwagen is a fantastic vehicle. It does have obviously downsides. It doesn't have much penetration on the standard, which makes it really tricky to cut through heavily armored opponents, or even certain mediums, like an E50M, without its weak spots being exposed. It's a very tricky pen. The shell velocity is oddly bad on this vehicle, even though it has APCR. Its penetration is only 240 APCR. So, the gun itself, I'll be honest, the gun itself is incredibly mediocre on the tank. Like, any other light tank gun on tier 10 is better. In general, this is a very balanced tank in a not-so-balanced meta. I mean, the Panzerwagen obviously has some capabilities, but if you're fighting against an E50M or a Leopard 1, it's definitely going to be a challenging game you're going to be placed in, and it's just because of the fact this tank doesn't really have holding potential. It doesn't have armor. Its DPM is not as good as any of the other mediums or lights in the game. Yes, it is tungsten, but it's not, you know, like other mediums have tungsten too. The gun on this vehicle is definitely not the strength. It is just the mechanic that it has going for it, which is a good thing, right? I mean, I think that it's nice to have a tank balanced around its mechanics if done properly. Question is, has Wargaming done it properly? And I honestly think for this tank they have. They've done a decent job balancing it properly. So the enemy team does not have any mediums, but it still doesn't hurt to play a little bit cautious because you never know where the enemy team's going to be and what they're exactly going to do. We have the Kron, which we get a nice shell into, not bad. And we put on our Adrenaline. Let's also put on our Tungsten. Nice shell into the Super Conquer, 389. Of course, our team is already being rushed, and oh, there it is. There it is. Mr. Bosler 9000 in the 183. Alright, well, we got one shell into his tank. Let's aim it on his lower plate. There you go, we track him. I mean, I'm not spotted anymore, so this 183 is going to have a very, very hard time dealing with me. I like how that 183 is spotting me that far away, though, when I do shoot. Like, that is really lame, I'm not going to lie. Alright, well, we have the Super Conch, got the Kron. I don't understand how our team's doing this bad, bruh. Like, I really don't. Like, I'm just one light tank, you know? It's not like I'm, having me on medium flank is this big detriment. I don't understand how our team's falling apart so... Oh, come on! Oh, come on, Panzerwagen. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to the gun. Like, this gun is not very good. And that shot alone, this 183 would be dead right now if that shot hadn't missed. Now, we still have another one, but you get my point. Like... Oh, that's why we're losing. Because we also have a... that makes more sense. Well, I don't think we're necessarily losing, but we have a full health 4005 who's over here as well. And that player's not really doing much right now. So that makes a little bit more sense. Now, the Super Conqueror has a damaged everything, which means I can get some pretty good bleeds out, track him, and then our Super Conch is... or their Super Conch is going to die. We have the BZ-75, which we can also get a nice shot into. The BZ's going to shoot my teammate, and just like that, we're not doing awful. We do have the 260, which, of course, can't ever hit a shell on. No, you're not getting out if you're alive. Get out of the frickin' game. Bye. Bye-bye. Alright, so that leaves us with 3 tanks left on the enemy team. We have the 183. We have the BZ-75 and the Grill. We're obviously going to flank the BZ. We're going to get... Okay. This is what I mean, though. Like, I have a hard time enjoying the gun on this tank because it's just not a good gun. It really isn't. It has moments when it can get out farm, but in general, the gun on this tank is very mid. Alright, there you go. That leaves us just with a Grill. So we're going to see if we can find this Grill. I would assume he's somewhere right around here. There you go. Hello, Mr. Grill. Well, I should have just fired an APCR, but I got a little greedy and tried to load HE. It doesn't really matter, though. We got a win. We did over 4,000 damage. So, the mechanic on this vehicle, it is very nice, and we were able to see when the 183 shot, or was looking at us, and not only that, but we can keep them lit up for 20 seconds. So, we still did fine. We really showcased where this tank does well, but I do think that in most situations, a T100 LT is still going to be a bit better. Either way, you can let me know your personal feelings, comments, and opinions down below. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!